spelling. Oh, this picture was me in first grade at Riverdale. Yeah, this picture was taken at school. And there are the kids reading over there, but I couldn't read yet, so I would just sit at my table and draw.
Do you remember we had the big sleepover at the school for Sky?
My first memory of the word dyslexia, it's so funny. I was dating my husband Tyler, and he had sent me this love letter, and he misspelled 5 words. I remember turning to my mom and just saying, wow, that's so interesting. This guy is so smart, and there are all these misspellings. What do you think was going on when he wrote this? And she said, oh, he's probably dyslexic. He's brilliant. He's a surgeon. He's probably dyslexic.
Plus years.
The next time I heard the word was when I was being told, Sky, my daughter, probably had it.
I remember the day when I got my first homework packet, and I remember like sitting on the school bus and I was asking a friend, how do I do this? And I just couldn't understand it at all. I hated school. I did not want to go to school. I just wanted to not go to school.
I would get calls from the nurse's office almost every other day. They said, we have never seen a child with so much performance anxiety.
I'd pretend I was sick. I would be tired in the morning, because when I went there, I wouldn't understand anything. I felt like I wasn't learning anything.
After the stomach aches and just kind of, trying to figure out what was going on, I decided to have her tested. When I got her tested, I was told it was dyslexia. I was so relieved. Felt like going to the doctor and being told what's wrong with you, and it wasn't her fault. And I remember being so excited to tell the school, oh, this good news, this is what it is. So, okay, we can all and it was just unbelievable. The response I got, it was, she needs to leave the school.
The hardest thing for us to deal with was trying to convince the school where she was to have an interest in her and to make an investment in her. They had decided that because of her difficulties in reading, that she would have difficulties in just learning everything.
I felt so badly for Sky, and I remember thinking, where does she belong? And how traumatic to start off school thinking that she can't succeed in first grade.
So you ready to wheel? Yeah. Dr. Zanakis, ready to wheel? But I try to speak slowly because sometimes for me to get a word out is difficult. And I make a lot of malapropisms. I'll try to keep that to a minimum for this video. In high school, I remember a social studies teacher asking me what I wanted to do. And when I told him that I wanted to become a doctor, he kind of laughed at it. He thought, well, I would be lucky if I got into a college, let alone possibly get onto medical school. In medical school, I realized that I was definitely studying different than the other students. The other students would be able to read through the material either the day before the lecture or they would read it that night after. And for me, specifically in anatomy, I would have to read the material once beforehand, then listen to the lecture, then read it again. Right, I'll have my pickup again. But what really hit it home was looking at the pictures in the anatomy text or just going to the body, the cadaver, and really seeing it on the cadaver. And then I could picture it, and I was able to see the relationship between a nerve, an artery, a vein, a muscle, and by picturing it, it really stuck. I discovered that I had dyslexia when I picked up a book written by Sally Shaywitz and wanted to know all about dyslexia because my daughter was diagnosed with it. And that's when I realized you have one of those a moment, an epiphany where this is what I've struggled with my whole life. Geraldine, my wife, was well aware of what dyslexia was, and she would always describe someone as having a learning disability. And I was adamant with her that I had a learning ability, because despite not reading well, I was able to get into medical school. And I ended up being elected to the Honor Society for Medical Schools. Today, I'm an orthopedic surgeon.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Finally, my wife and I both thought that the best thing for our daughter would be to take her out of her school. And we got her enrolled into a school which specializes for kids with dyslexia.
While it was very difficult to put her in a special school, I think ultimately it was the biggest gift. Sky always says that when we're taught her how to crack the code. And the way she talks about her dyslexia is, "Mommy, I cracked the code."
She shined in that school. And within a few months of being there, she had that curiosity again and that desire to learn.
I look at where Sky is now in her mainstream school, which is so rigorous. And I think that being in that drill situation gave her such a jump start. She's really stepped up to the academic challenge.
When I was like 8, I would always do like library to help me spell something. Overall, 6th grade has been a little different. When someone called me mentally retarded because I can't read or because I have dyslexia, and you know, I didn't really find it offensive. I just found it actually funny that someone would even say that as a comeback. You know, maybe if I was younger, like if I was 6 again, I would have like gotten really upset. But now I just find it funny that people would even try and like make a joke out of it.
5, 6, 7, 8, karate, chop, 1 and 2.
I love dance so much.
3, 4.
Especially I love competition because when I'm on the stage, I think about all the drama I've had this year, you know, some of my classes that I haven't been doing well in, and I just dance all my feelings out.
It brings me incredible joy just to see her perform and not hide herself the way I hid myself when I was her age.
And why was her accomplishment so important? Sky?
Well, Jessica Watson, she sailed.
Sky will be able to do what she has her heart set on.
I know I will do something that makes a difference in this world, whether it's finding a way to clean the water in Africa or discovering a new cure to cancer. Who knows? I can do anything.